What if I told you that strong bones don't have to come from a glass of milk? Myself included, many people who are on a health journey avoid dairy, whether for lactose intolerance, personal choice. There are a lot of good reasons you might want to avoid dairy in your diet. And so in this episode, we'll tell you then what's the alternative? Like if you need to get that calcium in, where do you get it from? How do you do that when you're living a life dairy free? In this episode, I'll tell you exactly what you need to know. So tune in, guys, and take notes.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
You might be wondering if you want to live your life in avoidance of dairy, because there's a lot of good health reasons why you might consider avoiding milks and cheeses. And in this episode, I'll actually outline what those reasons are, so you can make an informed decision. But then also I'll tell you, if you're avoiding dairy, then where do you get your calcium from? Because like calcium matters a lot. You need to have it in order to have healthy, strong teeth, strong bones. And a lot of us have been indoctrinated ever since we were little, that you have to have milk in order to get the calcium that you need. And it is true that milk and dairy generally is a great way to get calcium in the diet. But let's say you want to get the calcium without all the drawbacks, because if we launch into talking about the issues with dairy, one big one is digestive issues. We see a lot of people that are either clearly or undiagnosed lactose intolerant, where they've got bloating and GI distress. And one of the most interesting ways we find out about this is people that will eat healthy with us will leave dairy behind for 30 days, and then they try and reintroduce it. They try and have some cheese, and they immediately get this bloating or this GI gastrointestinal distress, like upset stomach response. And that's because they've reset their body, they've cleaned house internally, and now they have an opportunity to actually see how dairy actually impacts them when the body has been sort of cleansed of it. And boom, they realize, wow, my body is responding very negatively to this. I didn't realize that this had been one of the things that had been contributing to me feeling less than awesome. Other people have allergies and insensitivities because dairy is a common allergen. A lot of folks see acne or flare-ups in skin imperfections, skin issues related to dairy consumption. Some people are trying to follow vegan or plant-based diets, or maybe like me also, you prefer having real whole food sources over processed dairy, because like anything that's super processed, it's probably not the best for your health. So, not everybody needs to avoid dairy, but many health conscious people realize they feel better without it. I am certainly one. But then, see, calcium does still matter. You need to have it. It's very important to being your healthiest, best self and having high quality bone density. So, your bone density, your bone strength, your teeth, muscle function, nerve signaling, heart rhythm, because calcium, Ca++, is an important signal piece in the nervous system, and calcium presence and absence does impact your nervous system function. It impacts heart rhythm. And so it's just really important to your body for a lot of functions. You need it. So then a general guideline is that most adults need about 1,000 milligrams a day. This could be higher for older adults or women who are post-menopause, but 1,000 milligrams a day is a good general start point for how much calcium. So then the question becomes, we want to feel our best. We want to avoid processed dairy stuff. What's the alternative? Where do we go? Where are we actually going to be getting our calcium from? So I'm going to give several categories of this. Vegetables and greens are the first thing on my list. Your kale, your collard greens, your bok choy, turnip greens, broccoli. These are some of my favorite foods, and they're very calcium rich. It's also noteworthy that one of my other favorite foods, spinach, has calcium, but the absorption rate can be less because of oxalates. So that could be a thing just to keep in mind, is that while spinach may naturally have a higher concentration of calcium, it may not necessarily translate to what is usable in the body. That said, spinach still a superfood and a really great idea. But your kale, broccoli, collard greens, bok choy, great source. Also, nuts and seeds. Your almonds, sesame seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, tahini, which is sesame paste, is very calcium rich as well. I'm a huge fan of almonds, and I hope that you guys are too. Asterisk, some people are allergic to them. My wife is one. But if you're not, man, what an amazing way to get nourishment, heart health benefits. And if you feel like eating something crunchy, there's nothing like pecans or macadamias or cashews or almonds. They're amazing. Legumes and beans are also often good sources of calcium. This could be your white beans, your chickpeas, lentils, black beans. These are all good sources of calcium as well. There are some fortified foods you might consider as maybe a B team level alternative, like plant milks. Your almond milk, your oat milk are often fortified with calcium and vitamin D. Sometimes orange juice is also, although I tend to think of orange juice or any fruit juice as a highly concentrated source of sugar and probably a bad idea. So it would not be my go-to. I try and do all the things I mentioned previously first. As a bonus, I'm going to share with you guys some tips for maximizing calcium. First of all, when you pair it with vitamin D, which I supplement, depending on the time of year, I'll take anywhere from 2 to 10,000 IU of vitamin D. Calcium and vitamin D are important pairs, and you need to have both. So sunlight, also my favorite ways of getting vitamin D, getting outside, getting your 5 to 15 minutes of direct sun exposure, lights on you, sun on you, is a great way of getting vitamin D. You can also supplement it like I do with little gel capsules. Mushrooms are a good source of vitamin D. All of these things. Vitamin D helps absorption of calcium. And so having the two of those together is a very powerful thing. Magnesium and vitamin K also support bone health. So having those also give you some of the net benefits of calcium. And I recommend that you guys spread calcium across meals. For me, I have a mix of spinach and kale with my breakfast as a calcium source there. I'll have broccoli at lunch and dinner as calcium sources there. And I do recommend that you take maybe some beans and throw those into your lunch. Maybe take almonds and have it with your dinner so you can guarantee you're getting the calcium across your day as well. So guys, dairy, in recapping all of this, dairy is not the only way that you can get calcium. Don't buy the lie that you have to drink milk in order to have strong teeth and bones. It's not true. There are many other ways that you can get that calcium that you need so you can have your nourishment, have your nutrition, your vitamins, your minerals, have your strong skeleton, and live your best life. Guys, you don't need milk for mighty bones. You just need a smart plate, and I hope you guys do. I hope you found this interesting and valuable. Tell us your thoughts in the comments, and we'll keep that conversation going there. For now, I thank you for the gift of your time and your attention, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more useful tools and guidance, go to CrossFitEdwardsville.com and feel free to like, share, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment sections down below. See you in the next episode.